We're getting into Final Fantasy XIV's special Halloween event right now. There's a free emote, and you can buy some decorations. So, and achievements, of course. So, as I recall, we got to go to Old Gridania for that. Rats on first over on Twitch to Braddock Lamore. Good morning. Hope you're well. If you're lurking, hope you have a good lurk. All right. So, as with it seems all the events, we got to go to Mikedo's Amphitheater. And it is the Adventurers Guild Investigator right here. The Adventurers Guild Investigator is eyeing the festive displays with a healthy dose of suspicion. You there, you're an adventurer, yes? Eager to stare into the very depths of wickedness, am I right? Good, good. Because we're in dire need of just such a dauntless soul. All Saints' Wake is upon us, you see, and that means the fiends of the realm clamor to plunge Gridania into a sea of chaos. The host of this year's parade of horrors is a woman with a pumpkin for a head. I shudder to consider whether this is some elaborate costume or if no, perhaps it's best not to know. Her strange appearance. Oh, thank you for the resub, Mom Got a Game. With Prime. 29 months. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary of subscribing. Yes. I don't know what the 29-month celebration is. Is it paper? Is it gold? I don't know. Just imagine me giving that to you. How are you doing this morning? Her strange appearance makes my skin crawl, to say nothing of her underlings. Why, one might think the Continental Circus was come again, hiding their monstrous intentions behind the guise of celebration. We can be grateful that none have yet fallen under their spell, but I fear it is only a matter of time. We must act quickly to unearth their schemes. I begin a thorough investigation at once, but I'm afraid my surveillance duties here prevent me from moving freely. That, my friend, is why I need you. Approach this pumpkin-headed witch under the flag of friendship, and offer your services to her ghastly celebration. If you catch even a whiff of foul deeds, I want you to put a stop to them before any innocents come to harm. I knew I could count on you. Now then, you can find our quarry just across the way at Mikedo's Amphitheater, where she is doubtless attempting to draw any and all passers-by into her ungodly procession. Humor her for now, but take care not to fall victim to her honeyed words. Have you come to join the glorious celebration that is All Saints' Wake? All are encouraged and all are welcome. Oh, such eagerness! We're ever in need of willing hands to help with the festivities, preferably with bodies still attached. Of course, I understand a certain meddlesome investigator has tasked you with uncovering any iniquity on my part. Do I have demons and devils at my beck and call? I admit that I do. However, I mean no harm to you and yours, so I hope that our partnership can be mutually beneficial. Gasp. Together, I believe we can make this All Saints' Wake into one that will be remembered for moons to come. Yet before we begin, allow me to illuminate the history of this event and our intentions here. On this most unhallowed of nights, the saints revel in their palatial heavens, and as their judgmental eyes become leaden from drink, the impure are free to feast and frolic without fear of punishment. In ages past, the common folk would rue the coming of this night and cower in their homes. That is until the adventurers took it upon themselves to rid the streets of evil, thus turning the event into a celebration of your collective bravery. A joyous happening, to be sure, but what of the goblin, the ghost, and the gremlin? Unfortunately, there are many monstrous sorts who yet consider this a night to spread fear like a plague. And so it struck me, what if All Saints' Wake could be an occasion for celebration among mortal and monster alike? I believe there is room for light in even the darkest of hearts. Which brings me to the question of your involvement. I would have you aid a minion of mine named Papa Gruff in facilitating an All Saints' Wake that will allow yours and mine to join hands in mutual merriment. Perhaps you know Papa Gruff. He was once a void-sent so depraved that his kin spoke of him only in hushed whispers. But I have since shackled, or rather politely reasoned with him to commit devilry no more. Knowing of his formidable magical prowess, I have set him to work under these guiding words. Frightened enough to tickle, but not scar. Fear need not be an unpleasant experience, and Papa Gruff is doing his utmost to strike that delicate balance between felicity and fright. Not with much success, as I understand. I would love to proffer him advice myself, but I believe one such as you would know better what appeals to the mortals of this city. Might you give our beleaguered Papa Gruff a few words of advice? Thank you, truly. He should be putting on a performance near the Leatherworkers Guild at present, assuming he has yet to be chased from Gridania's borders. Please speak with him and give him my encouragement. So you're just tuning in. We're doing an annual Halloween-themed event, basically. On Final Fantasy XIV, we're going to get an emote out of it, and we can buy some stuff as well, and a couple of achievements. Not a single blood-curdling scream, but a smile is not a complete failure, I suppose. Ah, my pumpkin-headed master asks you to help me? Well, allow me to peel back the curtain, as they say. If my master sent you, I suppose there's no harm in revealing my true identity. I am no clown, you see, but a voidsent. My, not even a grimace. Well, I suppose it would be inconvenient if you ran away screaming after every sideways glance in my direction. Now for the matter of this furry abomination. Frightened enough to tickle but not scar is the agreement that binds me to my master. I don't need to be told twice that summoning any of my kind would be in gross violation of that covenant. So, remembering the deceptively winsome countenance of this vicious hellhound, I thought it would strike the perfect balance between horrifying and heartwarming. That is, until a child at an earlier show burst into tears at the pup's appearance. Now I've seen a man react with a hearty laugh to the same exact dog, with nary a trace of fear in his voice. The difference is vexing. Tell me, is a puppy something to be feared or cuddled? Feared by children and cuddled by adults, but sometimes the opposite? Depends, what frightens one may make another smile. Do you jest? You mean to say your kind's definition of terror differs from person to person? I admit that does explain the sheer contrast in reactions I've observed so far, and it does place me between a rock and a hellish, soul-rending place. If my task was simply a matter of bringing people to fearful tears, the ground beneath you would already be soaked through. How in the hell's good name does one frighten to tickle? Ah, but you with your delicate sensibilities, can teach me to mix dread and delight into a charmingly chilling concoction. Let us begin at once. Let's get right to it, eh? First we need to find people to scare, but not scar. Your kind seems to gravitate towards the pumpkins we place throughout the city, which creates the perfect opportunity for mild mischief. One of our displays should be just over this hill, and another is near the Lancers Guild. Your job is to tell me what to transform the pumpkins into once we find suitable test subjects. Let's see how well you tickle! Papa Gruff is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objective. All Saints Wake performance, very well, but I face slavering monsters almost daily. Is slavering or slavering? I think it's slavering. So it will take something quite fantastic to make me flinch. Oh, I could make him flinch so hard his heart would burst in his chest. But that's neither here nor there. What type of ghoul would be suitable? Let's see. Give him the ghastliest ghoul you can muster, something middle of the road, scary, or a small uncanny thing. Let's do the ghastliest ghoul. Well, if you say so, allow me to oblige. Egads! That gave me quite a fright. I only hope I never face such a monstrosity on one of my patrols, else my final act might be to soil my breeches. Well played, well played. Alright. One person successfully tickled. These decorations are so scary. You're not here to trick me, are you? This one is ripe for the picking. Forget I said anything. So, what type of ghoul do you suggest? The most appalling abomination you can conceive of, and don't skimp on the ooze. The Hellhound ate my homework levels of dread. Something spoopy. Pardon me, spooky. If you really think so. Oh, little ghost. You know, when you look at it, it's actually kind of cute. The puff of smoke was a little scary, though. I think I'm beginning to understand. If a fright doesn't kill your kind, it can actually be somewhat pleasant. I believe I'm ready to take the proverbial stab at it. Come, come. There should be more pumpkins around Akulu Falls. For babies, are they? I'll make this lass wish she was back in her mother's womb. You there, little girl. Look well upon this pumpkin. It's overkill, says Shay. Ah, monster! Ooh, what impressive magic. My heart won't stop pounding. I'll make this lass wish she was in her mother's womb. Yeah, it's a little overkill, Shay. Dama will have the fright of their life when I tell them I saw a real honest-to-God's monster. I can't wait to tell them. I'll think twice before I insult a clown again. Thank you for the thrills. Did she say thank you? Thank you for the heart, Katy Cat. I scared her near out of her shoes, and she thanks me. Can't say I've experienced that before. I dare say I even enjoyed it. Yes, now is the time to capitalize upon this newfound tickling skill of mine. Let us visit the display near the Whistling Miller next. Startled botanist. Whoop. Nope, nope, nope. You. Getting this figured out? Yeah. You're getting it, Katy Cat. You're getting it. Good day to you, young lady. Might you join me in celebrating the joyous occasion that is All Saints' Wake? Celebrate? That's the last thing on my mind. Please go and bother someone else with that ghoulish makeup. Oh my, aren't you in a fright? And not the good kind either. What happened, lass? Papa Gruff is here to help. You really help? Well, I could certainly do worse than a clown. I've come from the Great Loam Growery, although fled from is probably more appropriate. I was tilling the fields like always when I heard a frightful voice from behind me. I turned around to meet it and came face to face with the foulest monster I've ever seen. Supreme Tater Queen, thank you for resubbing with Prime for 18 months. I just noticed the earrings. When I regained my senses, I was here, my throat hoarse from screaming. No power in the realm can persuade me to return, not while that horror wanders unchecked. A monster? But we haven't visited the grower yet. What could it have been, do you think? Maybe one of the transformed pumpkins from earlier? Impossible. Those illusions are no more capable of free movement than the pumpkins they sprang from. I believe something much more real may be lurking in Gridania. Yes, no doubt there are void scents running amok. Here I am, tying myself into knots, trying to learn the subtleties of spookery, while some uncouth brute goes rampaging through the Twelveswood with nary a thought towards artistry. If we forgive such behavior, our efforts to find glee and terror will have been for naught. No, not void scents, Jake. Void scent. Tremble and fear no longer, lass. We shall investigate the matter. Truly? You're the first people to believe my claims are more than seasonal mischief. I knew Father was wrong when he said all clowns are villains. Thank you. Again, those words ring strangely in my ears. However, 'tis not an entirely unpleasant sensation. I know this wasn't why you were sent to assist me, but there's no telling how many of my kind we may find. A single clown can only achieve so much, so would you lend me your aid in case the situation gets undesirably bloody? Thank you. Look at me, expressing gratitude, and to one of your kind no less. Well, no matter. Let us depart to the great Lone Growery and settle this. She's traumatized. I guess we'll just leave her there. Do. Our roguish quarry is close, doubtless lying in wait somewhere to catch us unawares. Once they show themselves, don't indulge them with anything but a face of stony indifference. I've got that in spades. You want nods too? I got so many nods. Boo! Oh, come on. As I thought, a fellow void scent. And what, pray tell, are you doing here? A brother of the void? Then you know why I'm here, for the night of devilry. Once we were free to carouse, creep, and caper, guided by the great pumpkin-headed archfiend. For too long we have been denied our demonic rights, and it is I who shall reinstate our grandest event. Yes, the age of the Great Gourd should give way to the era of the Great Pot. Even now my allies lie in wait throughout the city, ready to usher in the night of devilry. You must join us, brother. Join us as we rise again. No. What? Why? Even if I wanted to, my covenant prevents me from engaging in the wanton vileness you propose. Regardless, I have no desire to join you for some cheap jaunt through the city with only a few startled mortals to show for it. Such delicate devilry would only result in our swift and indelicate devilry will only result in our swift and total annihilation. Ah, spoken like a true coward. Don't tell me you're frightened of some sharpened sticks and clumsy clubs. Oh, but I am frightened, as you too would be, had you tasted the full brunt of my master's fury. Perhaps you may yet, if you continue to insist upon this foolish course. I have learned how to blend in with the people here, and extract terror in such a way that does not tempt retaliation. Your plan would bring but a single night of debauchery. Learn how to cohabit, however, and our collective revelry can last forevermore. Traitor! Then my minions and I will devour you and your scaly sack of a friend. Snack of a friend, not sack. Scaly sack. Wow. Wow, that's not what he said. That head! The great gourd! Naughty children ill deserve to join in the festivities. They should be happy as decorations to serve as an example for any who would follow in their footsteps. My lady, how pleasant it is to see you. Dare I ask why you grace us with your presence? I caught wind of a voice and disturbance and came here to investigate. When I heard your voices, I knew something was afoot. I must say, I am quite pleased that you see the merit in my approach to All Saints' Wake. Yet something must be done about the other beasts that have crept into the city. Let us give them the same treatment and continue enjoying this unhallowed event on our own terms. With your help, rounding up our reckless kin should prove to be a simple matter. Let us make this All Saints' Wake an occasion to remember for those who dwell in the light and shadow alike. If you sight any errant ghouls, perform the spell I demonstrated earlier. In doing so, we shall convince the residents of Gridania that the source of their supposed nightmares was naught but a cluster of mundane pumpkins. This wand possesses the transformative power you require. Simply swing it about in a grandiose manner and point it at your target. Once the charms have been cast, I shall collect the pumpkins. I understand they are quite delicious when baked in pie. Alright, so now we have the All Saints Charm emote. You learn the emote All Saints Charm. Papa Gruff is eager to rid Gridania of his wicked brethren. Just when I was getting the hang of being the life of the party instead of the death of it. Let's wrap this up quickly, lest this year's All Saints' Wake be remembered as a disaster. I sense something sinister lurking deeper in these fields. As well as a trail heading to the east. Perhaps towards the market or the Lancers Guild. Splitting up will be the easiest way to end this quickly. I'll escort the botanist from earlier back here and deal with whatever still haunts the growery. I shall use the opportunity to convince her that what she witnessed before was nothing but an overzealous pumpkin. That should put her heart at ease. I will leave the rest of Gridania to you. Once the voidsent have been verily vegetated, meet me at Miketo's amphitheater so we can deliver my master news of our success. Now let the show begin. What? It was a pumpkin the whole time? I can't believe I fell for that. And now I know it's just a trick. I'd like to see it again. What? It was just a pumpkin? I knew the Wood Whalers wouldn't let such wicked things into the city. I've never seen such a feat of illusion before. If the rest of All Saints' Wake is as entertaining, I'd best go and find the main event. Capering Void Scent and an unnerved Wood Whaler. Pumpkin? Wait, this is all part of All Saints' Wake festivities, isn't it? I must say that made my heart skip a beat. If this is what adorns the streets, I cannot wait to see what the main stage has in store. You have turned all the prowling Void Scent into harmless pumpkins. Papa Gruff awaits at Makedo's amphitheater to hear tidings of your success. It did not? Oh, damn. That's a bummer. There you are. I took care of the Void Scent still haunting the Great Lone Brewery. Did your hunt go as smoothly? Good, good. Now we can safely say that the only frights in store for the citizens of Gridania are of the decidedly entertaining variety. I took the liberty of gathering the pumpkins you created. Their punishment will not be eternal, but they can stand to remain in their current form for the duration of the festivities. It is the least they can do in repentance. There you are, my fearless clown. Thank you for reassuring me. I had worried I might have to retire from my position at the Great Lone Brewery and seek less haunted climates. As the master of the Botanist Guild, allow me to extend my personal thanks for helping my gifted pupil avoid such a decision. It would have been a grievous loss for all of us. Oh, it was no trouble at all. In fact, I should thank you for being such an exemplary audience. A true entertainer brings his all to every stage, be it a grand amphitheater or cozy vegetable patch. I only hope you were half as thrilled as I was. That scarier, whatever it was, looked so real. I never could have guessed it was just a garden variety pumpkin. Truly, I feel privileged to have seen a master of illusion at his craft. As do I. Would that every day were so filled with surprises. As a token of our thanks, we made some pumpkin cookies from our most recent crop. Please enjoy them in good health. I do believe I can get used to this being thanked thing. Well, since you've gone through the trouble, I'd best eat them before they've cooled. To my good health. This is delicious! That was great. This flavor! I've never tasted anything like it. The cookie's ether is tinged with something I can't quite pin down. It's bold, but not overpowering. Is this the taste of gratitude? Oh, how much of my life have I wasted only supping on terror, when all along a whole world of flavors was left neglected? I'm not entirely sure what you mean, but I shall consider your words a compliment nonetheless. These cookies are but a small token of my appreciation. Well, I wish I could have given more. You mean I could potentially receive more gifts? If performing my acts will get me more big delights, I'd better get to work straight away. Why, this is shaping up to be quite the All Saints' Wake indeed. I could not have imagined a better day of celebration for all. Our success here is in no small part thanks to you. As I believe that Papa Gruff now has matters well in hand, I shall return to my manor. Pray visit if you are so inclined. Ah yes, before I forget, do apprise that troublesome investigator of what has transpired here. Maybe he will finally cast his prying eyes elsewhere. What a fantastic yarn! Monsters plotting against monsters, all to make us happy? I admit I find your story hard to swallow, but I also see no reason why a fellow guild member would lie. Very well, I should take your tale at face value and consider these to be glad tidings indeed. However, I cannot help but wonder if this was all an elaborate ruse. They knew we were watching them, and that may have compelled them to put on a show of charity. After all, a monster cannot change its skin overnight. I shall continue to keep a close eye on their activities from afar. Thank you for everything you've done, and hope against hope the evil has been laid to rest. You now have access to Sneaky Hollow. Speak with the unusual usher in Miketo's amphitheater to be escorted to the costume party. Alright, so that's our achievement for completing it. We can also go to this vendor here to buy wall-mounted vampire bats of furnishing and some magic prisms pumpkin. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, absolutely worth. Absolutely worth. And then the costume party thing is just that. Like, it's a photo op, basically. You can adopt different, like, NPC appearances while you're there and basically just take pictures on stage and stuff like that.